Welcome to the Let It Bleed podcast, a place where you can hear the liquor-fueled ramblings of two narcissistic wizards who conjure the essence of inspirational people every week and bring it straight to you.
And just how do you plan on doing that? Magic. Motherfucker.
And now for the wizards themselves, David Amaya and Phil Arroyo.
What's up, dude? It's been a good week since we've been on the show because we took a break for our Thanksgiving.
Yes.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh man, mine was nice in that I don't really talk to I don't really have those typical Thanksgiving arguments that one would think I might have because I've decided to avoid them altogether. The Thanksgiving sentence.
Right.
So Thanksgiving is just a nice, relaxing day. Just went and hung out with my parents because my brother's away at college now. And then went to Bree's grandma's. It was nice. What did you end up doing?
Well, I had a good time with my family too. The night before partied with a couple friends, then went to Thanksgiving dinner in Corona, which was pretty scary considering that it's California and it rains and it all of a sudden turns into freaking terrible Mexico City freeway. Out on the freeway because it just becomes like, crazy. People don't know how to drive, just reckless shit going on. But
yeah, Jesus Christ, I didn't even think about that because I almost died going from like here to Irvine this morning.
I didn't drive. My dad was driving, and it actually did at one point. Like there was like a lane that was blocked off. The right lane was like closed, and so we had to basically pull over to the side of the road. Really quickly, and it wasn't that big of a deal, but like it did kind of scare the crap out of everybody in the car. But yeah, we went out there, and it was cool. Just got like super stoned because I had to, and then ate a bunch of food, slept for a little bit, came back and partied with some friends. But going off what you were saying, I saw a meme that was kind of funny where it says broke. The definition for broke was arguing with your uncle at Thanksgiving. The definition of woke is organizing your cousins.
Oh, fuck. I like that.
Yeah, right? So
shit.
I thought that went well with what you were saying, because you don't want to go and argue. And I'm definitely in the same boat too. I think that it's one day you just got to go and you don't really see or hang out with these people that often. It's best to just kind of enjoy the day and actually be thankful for stuff. So
yeah, there's plenty about I've always thought that maybe family was a little bit overhyped. You know what I mean? The whole concept.
Elaborate.
You're stuck with these assholes, It's like,
Yeah.
hey, some people, like, there's a lot of people in the world that suck. They got families too. So,
Yeah.
if your family just fucking sucks, like, what? Don't feel that bad. Y'all don't get along. Just go about your day. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a good way
Ain't
to look
nothing
at it.
wyour with that. Is your life fulfilled and satisfied and surrounded by people who you do like and admire and if your life is filled with love, fuck it then. If it's like, if it's bad situations, just you don't need all that negativity in your life. Not saying that all necessarily is me, but I'm saying like, I think there's a lot of like, there's like a weird stigma around it.
Around, fighting with your family or disagreeing with your family?
No. Just like if you're not doing holiday things with your family and stuff like that, or if you don't care to partake in all these kind of generally this whole last couple months of the year that's all about family and stuff like that. If you're just not partaking in the traditions doesn't mean there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, well, to each their own. They want to do what they want to do, and I'm sure people are plenty justified. People are plenty justified in not wanting to a lot of the times too, and definitely just not doing it. So, there's a lot of unique cases out there, and I'm just lucky enough to be able to go and enjoy mine still enough without feeling like I shouldn't go. So it was cool. I had a good time and went out and partied had a Friendsgiving later that night, which got super lit, and I've just been in a constant state of recovery since then. So, yesterday got a little bit of a bug too from
Yeah, that
food,
whooped my
bad
ass
food.
all weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to kind of be getting back into the swing of things here and feeling a little bit better instead of being in bed all day yesterday, which wasn't so bad, because it was gloomy and ugly as all hell yesterday. So I didn't feel
Yeah,
too
that
bad about
sucked. I
being in
couldn't even
bed.
do any perineum setting.
Any what?
Any perineum setting. I was real upset about
What is?
that.
Oh,
Oh,
perineum.
oh, you haven't heard about this
Is this
perineum setting?
the booty hole thing?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Putting some
Oh
vitamin
man.
D in your butt.
Well, they say that actually when it's overcast is when you get like the most harsh rays from the sun or something like that, or at
Oh
least you get more
shit. Dude, I didn't
more
even
sunburn.
bother cuz it was Perineum Sunday Funday and it was so gloomy out I just canceled it. Fuck me. We should have kept it
But
going,
wait,
man.
yesterday was not Sunday. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I just wanted to say the words Perineum Sunday Funday.
Oh, okay,
I
so
was
that's
just I was
the
just willing
word
to
for it.
squeeze him into anything. Yeah, who knows
I
when
just
we're
call
recording
it
this.
booty hole tanning, or boo fanning.
You're so crude, David.
Yeah,
You're like a
but
goddamn sailor.
so let's talk
Read
about
a
that
book,
though.
man.
Actually, I have a comic book right in front of me. Thank you very
About
much.
booty hole
I've
tanning?
been Yeah, it's actually one of the new characters in the Watchmen series.
Oh, okay. Actually, I
Yeah,
did see
so
your post about that. How are you liking it? The
I'm
comic.
fucking loving it.
Yeah?
Oh, the comic book, you mean? Yes,
Yeah.
the comic book is it's great. It's very much like the movie, but it's definitely got so much more. Obviously, it just really gives you so much more insight to the characters and the universe, and it's just making me way more pumped up about the series because it is fucking. We've talked about it several times on the show, but it just keeps getting better and better with each episode.
It's
And the
we
last
needed
one,
something to fill that Game of Thrones shaped hole in our lives and in the the B block of the show. So
not
it's
even
probably
kidding,
gonna
man.
be
It's
that
like
pretty much during the season.
it's like Game of what? Like what? I'm
Exactly. Oh,
almost.
it's so much
I,
better than Game of Thrones was. And now it's
well,
like,
yeah,
cool, everybody's watching this now. I feel like this is also already starting to be like, starting to take on like that cultural snowball. Like you can go in and
right.
like everybody's watching it, even though it's only the first season. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It's big, and I think it's well deserved too because it's fucking
absolutely.
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It's got to be the best first season of any show I've ever seen that wasn't a single season show. Like there's been some really good single like short series that have come out in this last year, like Chernobyl being one of them, which was just excellent. And what else was there? Like the first, let's see, there was also like True Detective, which my friend brought up the other day. That was like they're each a different, like each season's
Yeah.
a whole different story. So it's kind of like
Yeah,
that
it's just a
first
10
season of
episode
True
arc.
Detective was freaking really awesome. But I mean, this show, I mean, it really for me has surpassed them all because it's got a little bit of everything. There definitely is comedy in there. Just enough. It doesn't. It's just enough to not make it like dull or boring or
It's
just
it's incredibly well balanced. It
right.
definitely hits all those
Exactly.
notes, and it's not like it never feels too heavy or anything like that either.
No, and the music is just phenomenal. It's perfect.
Oh
Trent Reznor is
man,
killing it, and
yeah. Some of
yeah,
those
I
oh
mean,
man, there was man. I wanted to, and I forgot to post this, but I wanted to see how many people like just had an instant reaction to that. There's a
are you
song
gonna
that was in
spoiler
the
alert? Are you
episode
gonna?
in
Oh,
not this past week's, but the week before's. That was very prominently featured on like the radio stations in the game Fallout.
okay.
And I don't know, I felt like I wasn't the only one who instantly had that connection to it and just shot up like that. But I keep forgetting to mention it. So, nerds, write me. Please don't make me feel alone on this. But yeah, man, they're crushing it, weaving in and out of these very, you know, I don't know. They just do such a good job with the themes and everything, and
Right.
the delivery. Now, the only thing is that like, yeah, I'm sure I could go back and look at the. Well, I'll just speak about it generally, but the kind of the twist of this past week's episode. Um, I I didn't. It didn't make sense to me right away. But I'm thinking this is a show where I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. Like once you
Yeah.
have the complete picture of the first season, to go back and see how they seeded it out. Because either I was too high when I was watching it, or their misdirections were pretty good.
Well, then we're going to have another side conversation for the sake of not spoiling it for anybody else on here. But I could say that after rewatching that last episode a second time, I did pick up on things that I also, may have missed, or even just going back and watching them all again, because now that things are starting to be revealed, obviously you're going to be able to go back and be like, oh, like, duh, now I know what this means. I wouldn't even have paid attention to that before. And also, you've seen the movie, correct?
I saw it a long time ago.
So what you want to do is definitely go back and watch that again, just
I've
to
really
like
been feeling
really
like
kind
I
of.
had to, yeah.
Yeah, and Dave's also been shit because like when I first started, I started with the first episode of this season, and I'll be honest, like the very first episode, though it was pretty to look at, I was kind of like, okay, I really don't know what this is like all about, because I just recently watched the original movie right before that, and I was like it really has nothing to kind of do with it, but then it really does start to come back and bring things in, and like the more I go back and forth and read these other articles about supposed theories for who like where's Ozymandias actually, like what's going on, like is he going to be brought back, like where what all of these kinds of different questions and mysteries that because Damon Lindelof is like pretty good at kind of answering questions with more questions. Like
What
he
has
just kind
he
of like.
done before?
So Lost was one of those. Lost was his like
Okay.
main like
Oh,
claim to
yes.
fame show,
Okay,
and
you
then
told me this. And the
The
Rapture show.
Leftovers.
The Leftovers.
yeah, which that one was like even gnarlier. And I mean, they really probably tried to take this book premise, which there was just one book that ended, and it wasn't that great of a book anyway. But they already like exceeded the book, in my opinion, because they made it like they definitely added their own element of like mystique and weirdness to it. But it kept bringing up more mysterious shit without actually really closing off anything, or bringing closure to like what had actually happened and what's going on, like what the whole overall thing that was going on in the Leftovers didn't really go, or it just left me dissatisfied, and I don't even think they finished it. I think that it's still kind of, it's been in limbo, and I imagine that he probably was like, ah, fuck it, put all his eggs into this Watchmen basket, which is fucking awesome. It's definitely doing a lot better than I was kind of hoping for, because I found out
here.
that he was part of it. Yeah, so
I thought it'd be cool. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. I was reserving judgment after the first episode. I wasn't sure either, man. But like, we're what, 7 deep now? And how many are left in the season?
2 more in this season.
Okay, so it was what, 9, or was that 8?
Yeah.
Okay, this is exciting radio. Yeah, no, it's a fucking great show, man.
It's funny too, like there's a lot of backlash apparently, as you might have imagined, from the people, the alt-righter people that are just not taking a liking to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't want to admit that they're racist. But yeah, it's kind of absurd just for them to even try to make any of these arguments, though, because are trying to say that it's too political, or it's trying to obviously like serve some agenda, when like it has nothing to do with our actual political climate. There was never once in this show where they reference Trump like they do so many other shows. They never like once talk about anything that's actually going on in our politics. But I mean, if it's bothering these people, then there's a reason why it's bothering
Yeah.
them,
Why does it look so familiar, Cletus? Tell me that. I mean, riddle me this, fucking Skylar. Like, Why does all of this seem problematic, huh? A little bit too close to home? Oh
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's been pretty fucking satisfying to read.
Dude, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but now, since we're talking about stuff you got to check out, before I forget, have you seen the LA 92? It's a documentary on Netflix.
What is this?
Oh my god. So it's a documentary on the 92 LA riots, after the Rodney King beating, and it just fucking, dude, it was gripping as fuck. Like, we all know what happened because we've read about it, heard about it, been taught about it. It's, something that obviously has always been a big deal, but I don't think that I've ever seen or felt like the actual weight of what had happened and seen as much on it like this. Like, I definitely haven't, and it really left me just kind of like thinking about it all night. And then even into the next day when I woke up, it was just like, wow, I can't believe that actually happened. You get to see so much gripping footage that they've obviously compiled from all of these different places over the years and done such a fucking, a really damn good job of like putting it all together and keeping you in suspense. And it was insane, man. Like, I had no
That
idea
sounds
that level of shit was going
right
on.
up my fucking alley.
Yeah, dude. It's so like it starts and they start off by kind of pointing out a couple big things that happened that really were just like, the last straws, that broke the camel's back. There was one where there was a Korean store owner that ended up murdering a little black girl, and she was found guilty, but she only had to like serve some community service and a fine, got no jail time. And so like, people were kind of, that was like a big thing that people felt that there was injustice about. And then obviously the Rodney King beatings that happened, going to trial and everything. And then, there's just like the footage that goes on showing, what's happening kind of through all of the different reporters reporting from the courthouse to right outside the courthouse. And like it just really shows the buildup of this, people like in the streets just kind of like,
they
or
keep adding to
like
the powder
coming.
keg and adding to it and really like fully contextualizing it. No, man, that's cool. I feel I feel like there's been like 2 or 3 like good things lately that just kind of snuck right in and just hit you. You just go, oh wow, like even if you know a lot of this information or something like that, it's like putting it all together sequentially and adding things in here or there to connect some dots. And just like, oh, here's this event, this moment that you thought you knew, you understood, and you realize, oh man, that's just like the skimming the first couple of Wikipedia pages when you like really dive into some shit and it affects you. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's how Chernobyl
I
was for me, and that's how this was. It was like, what the fuck. Yeah.
Get that. Okay, cool. I'm definitely adding that to my queue. LA 92, right?
LA 92. Yeah.
Oh man.
And we'll talk more about it next time after you've seen it. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, let me not forget to write that down. I am like probably too high to be doing this show, but I am going to.
Nothing new.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing.
Just keep on pushing forward. Man, I feel like I haven't seen a ton of crazy shit this week. I was just sick, man. I was just fucking head down, just blah. Just
gave yourself a little mental break where your body said, "Fuck that, Phil. You're not gonna go and put yourself through this shit right now."
Exactly. There's just too much going on, and just my brain just started to shut down, man. Just been, fuck, lost my train of thought. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, sometimes you need to take those breaks. You also might serve you well to get out and go, I don't know, like if you've gone out anywhere lately, like to go just kind of clear your head. It's been a couple weeks since we've been on, but so I don't think I actually mentioned that I got to go out to Joshua Tree last week for a day, but it was so, it was just so rewarding. It was fucking definitely necessary for my mental health because lately I've just been I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's like for everybody else, but it kind of seems to be something that I feel is what a lot of people are going through. It's just kind of like this, I don't know, really gloomy time. Like just
Yeah.
people are.
Yeah,
It's kind
man.
of people are tired. It's just exhausting. Like everything's like one thing after another. Whether it's just the stress of everyday life and going the monotony as well and the stress of everyday life, just going to work and doing the same thing in and out and kind of looking forward to stuff, but then it just like not being able to go, just something slightly off that like kind of derails your plans. And I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for myself too much, but
No, no,
that
no, no.
seemed to have been
I'm
the
vibing with
case.
every single word you're saying. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
exactly it, man. It's this grinding feeling, you know? I just been felt kind
yeah,
of fucking just ground out lately. I think it's like, yeah, I've just been stressing on a lot of different stuff. It's not any particular one thing, but especially this time of year, it's fucking stressful, man. Because I got property taxes and shit, so I'm like, trying to you're just thinking too much about money. That's what November and December always like represent for me. And when I
right,
take a step back from it and I look at myself, I'm just like, fuck, this fucking blows, man. It fucking sucks. And
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think I always do better when I can take a step back and even just acknowledge that's happening in the moment rather than not knowing, just having a gnawing feeling in the back of my head that's like this general dread that's not really helping anything or anybody. It's just making my fucking, the little hamster in my head just get depressed and stop pedaling,
yeah,
on his
yeah,
his
yeah.
tiny little Peloton bike that I bought for him. Oh
And now
man.
I have this image in my head, but for me it's a frog. It's doing it,
Oh
just
okay.
hopping, just on the wheel, just
Mine's
hopping,
just
just
an
going.
upset little hamster that somebody would dare
Yeah.
fucking, you know, get that for them for Christmas. Now, have you heard about this? Sorry, hard
No.
left. I'm trying to have fun again. Um, these Peloton bike commercials. There's this ad blitz on a lot of Hulu and other things right now that I'm hearing enough people talk about it. But it's like it's basically the premise of the commercials them encouraging husbands to buy exercise bikes for their wives. And
What?
and because that's what they sell. They sell exercise bikes or some shit, like really expensive ones. And
Right.
and it's all, the commercials are all like wives coming down the stairs like on Christmas morning and like seeing the bike and being all excited and like, oh my god, thank you. And everybody's like, yeah, don't do that. That's not how it's gonna go at all, you pieces of shit.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
like
hilarious.
unless you've had a discussion that they explicitly want one of these bikes, don't just fucking surprise somebody with an exercise bike. Nothing sends a worse message. Like people just couldn't believe that they had to be told that. Oh
I
man.
personally, though, I know that I agree that that's terrible, but I personally wish that I had somebody, a significant other, that would buy me nothing and take my credit card and control my money and only give me an allowance to buy like, healthy food or something. Like they'll
So you want
specifically
like a what do they call them?
like
Financial
give me like
dominatrix?
a yeah, just give me like a gift card to like Greenleaf and that's all. Like give me like an amount of money I can use to go eat there or somewhere else. Like, if they could go work it out with like a bunch of different places and like come up with some like healthy gift card where I can only use that at these like healthy places. And I'm limited to what I could order too. So like I'm not like tripling up on, the cheese loaded Brussels sprouts or whatever. Like I'm
I'm
just,
pretty sure
you know,
they. I, I well, I guess that would. God, it sounds
that
ridiculous, and then I'm trying to undo it, and maybe I'm trying to like dismantle that in my head. But maybe I'm a little bit, either I'm too high for the job, which is the most likely thing, or it's when you stop and think about it for a second, is that a good idea? I don't know.
Why would it be a bad idea? That's a great idea.
Yeah, but like,
it
could
definitely
you do
would...
that? Get an organization of health food stores together to get just gift cards that go to that?
Dude, I think we just came up with a fucking $1 million idea.
Damn. So it's like, it's like
We could go
Snap,
and
but
create,
for healthy food.
Like basically, like, for wives that want their dads to have like a little bit less of a dad bod, they could go buy these like gift cards for them so like they can eat, like, but they have like a certain thing worked out with all of these different restaurants, and it has to be like all the healthy food ones. Like it won't work at any of like the fast food or junk food places.
Yeah,
Just
you'd have to have like
away,
a network of them going, and then how would they do? Well,
take away their husbands, like
no,
financial
I feel like the
freedom.
logistics of that are very, very tough. But
well, if it works for me,
the
if it works
idea's
just for me
not
alone, then it
as
was worth it.
dumb as I thought it was right off the top. Okay, I see you. I'll give that one to you.
Let's just say that there
I'm gonna
are
wake up
some
tomorrow
other
and be
ideas
like, what the fuck?
that
No,
are really
da-da-da-da-da.
stupid. Hey, at least the intention's good on that one. But no, I was trying to be funny anyways because I could certainly use that. I have terrible self-control. That's the takeaway. Don't get your wife a workout bike. That's just, unless she asks for it specifically, don't do it. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah, that's solid enough advice for anyone. And so, yeah, I don't know what else
Sad
to
part
do.
is
So
I
I'm gonna
know a
just-
couple people.
Oh, go ahead. What'd you say?
I said sad part is that I know a couple people that would probably do something like that. But going back to what before you made the hard left on the little hamster on the exercise wheel thing.
Yeah.
Talking about just people being tired in general, and people a lot of it comes for a lot of different reasons, obviously, like the stress and the pressures that are put upon us, but also like the pressure that we put upon ourselves to really like make the most out of everything, because I'll carpe the fuck out of them DMs, but sometimes you also got to realize like you got to turn down for some shit too. You got, there's so much stuff that's going on, so many opportunities. Like you don't have to capitalize on every single one, because no matter what, even if you want to do that, you're going to wear yourself the fuck out. And I've been seeing a lot of posts from people about the new year, and like this being the last couple months or so, or however many days of the 2010s, like we're going to be into a new decade, and so you got to make the most of it. And there's that like immense pressure. Well, what am I going to do? Like, and my opinion is like, what if we don't? Like, what if you just fucking chill the fuck out and relax the fuck out, hibernate until the fucking end of the decade, ride it out, and then just fucking charge the new fucking decade as strong as shit.
Oh man, that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah, because it's already like, fuck, what am I going to do? Stress myself out for the next few weeks? Like, what am I going to do? First of all,
this decade, it's a garbage fire. Just write it off now. Nobody should go to work tomorrow anywhere. We should all just like fuck it and sit around until 2020. New year, new me, new decade. Like fucking what fresher of a start can you get than a nice round number like 2020? Come on, that's just fun to say.
Right. Because now we could say the 20s. Like, what were we going to say?
Yeah, we can start saying the 20s.
What are we going to say about this last
dope.
decade? Like, we're going to have to say the full year. Now we could start officially saying, yeah, back in 25, well, like in the next, 10 years from now, we could say that. Back in 25, like, what are we going to say? Oh, back in 15, I guess. Or back in 08. Yeah, I guess we could do that, but it fucking sounds lame. It doesn't sound cool.
But, like, back in 11, 12, going all the way through back in 18. No, it all sounds stupid. You have to say 20. It's so many syllables.
Yep,
and
I agree.
It's a giant waste of everybody's time. That's why nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about 1900 through 1920. What happened then? Nothing. Everybody just fucked around and didn't do much. And I would say that's probably the last 20 years too. So let's all just agree to just start trying, Because let's be real, none of us have been trying. All through from 2000 to 2020, from age 10 to age 30 for me, I will admit I was not trying. Okay, but 2020. This is when you're gonna
What do
start
you
seeing
mean
some
by-
effort from this guy.
What do you mean by trying?
Oh, just trying, just at life, everything in general, just giving a shit. We've all been
Interesting.
phoning it in, and we're a victim of our decade, the time that we're in. A period of
See,
history that
now I
was
feel
destined
like
to be
you're putting
forgotten.
even more pressure on people though for the new year. Like you're
Oh,
like
yeah.
even saying,
Oh,
like,
no.
you didn't try.
Guys, don't get it twisted. If you don't make it happen in 2020, just give up everything. Your dreams, your hopes, all that. Like, if you don't got shit going on by 2021, just quit, Just move to Wisconsin or whatever people do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Wisconsin people. I love you. I don't know anybody from Wisconsin. Oh, wait, yeah, I do. What was I saying?
Crappy football team called the Green Bay Packers. That's who.
Oh, yeah, they got their asses whooped last week. It was hard to watch.
49ers spanked them.
Damn.
I act like I care about football now. Although 49ers were my team when I did watch that sport. People are like, oh, they're doing so great now. That was like the Thanksgiving dinner and feast that we had was a football themed thing at my cousin's house. And so everybody had to wear like a different football jersey or shirt or whatever. And, I had one. I had a jersey, a 49er jersey from years and years ago. So, of course, just to be festive and fit in with the theme, I wore it. But, like, they're trying to talk to me about football. And I am just like, I don't care. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I can get that. There's a certain like level of depth that it gets to, or just like, and I'm out. Even though I do love, like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go deep into. I don't fucking care about stats. I don't play fantasy anymore. It's, excuse me. Yeah.
Well, you
it's
just kind of
silly.
summed it up.
And this is also the life of being a Chargers fan. It just makes you kind of give up on the sport in general before you'll, admit that maybe you should have picked another team if you wanted to have fun watching football.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
that's true.
C'est la vie. Because the
Yeah,
world's
at least
crazy.
the Raiders
now.
got cholos.
Huh?
I said at least the Raiders got cholos.
That's true. And I am making sure to not go to those games. Woo, they be tripping. They be tripping.
Yeah. So nothing crazy then. So you don't got anything else to bring up about anything going on? It's been pretty mild.
Yeah.
Still
Well,
just
I mean,
it's
I
just
feel like
the-
the world to take a. I mean, kind of. Who am I kidding? Like, the world does not fucking take a break. I have fucking 15 pages of shit I can talk about written down right here. But yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. I'd rather skim around the edges for right now and talk about, like, some good human interest stories. Like, there was a guy on Twitter, and this is probably the single most liked tweet I've ever seen, retweeted thing. And it was a dude who said, like, yeah, I worked at McDonald's from like 2009 to 2011, and virtually every 10-piece McNugget meal, I gave 11 nuggets. That was it.
Oh yes,
That was the
That's
whole
the-
tweet. And everybody
That's
just, like,
dope.
fucking put this guy on their shoulders and paraded him around like a hero. And I thought, we need this right now. We need people like McNuggets guy. We need people, small acts of rebellion. Somebody who was looking into an unfair system and just going, you know what? Fight the power. Just in the little ways that I can. Because that guy did so much for so many people at McDonald's expense. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful story, a little fable for our time. So I just wanted to shout out that guy because I thought he was pretty great.
yeah,
Because,
that's awesome.
yeah, man. Because you got that, and then it's like, there's sad stuff going on. The OC Weekly shut down. I don't know if you heard about this.
The what shutdown?
The OC Weekly?
Oh yeah,
Big time
I did
magazine,
hear about that.
local staple out here, man. And
Well,
it went out of business.
it was
Like,
pretty much in its later days pretty much just like
It,
an ad for dispensaries, wasn't it?
yeah, basically. But they did actually have some really good journalism going on there. Yeah, I
You
think I've
know,
talked about him before, but you know the Ask a Mexican column that was from that.
I have to be honest, I didn't read much of it other than in the early days of me going to once I found out that you could find all the dispensaries on there, that's kind of why I looked at it. But no, I admittedly I didn't really read it, so I couldn't really say too much. But I do know that it was, something that, like you're right, it was an it's a staple out here. It's something that's been around for a long time, and it brought quality, joy and entertainment to people. And
And not only that, to
it's no longer
to me, it brought an education about every like fucking so much of what I talk about when I talk about what Orange County is or is like. A lot of the history and that is rooted in a lot of the writing that was coming out of the OC Weekly. They had some really great investigative journalists and cultural people on the cultural commentators and editorialists. Like, it was just a real bummer. Now, have I bought a copy of the OC Weekly in the last 9-10 years? I have not. I am
they're pretty
every
free, aren't
bit.
they?
Wait, were they?
They were always free.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
they
the
were
last.
always
I don't
free.
remember the last time I picked one up. That's what I mean, though. Have I been
Yeah.
supporting them actively? Probably not. And it just made me
Right.
think a lot, like because we're losing a lot of print journalism. I mean, that's a real fucking problem that we got right now. Journalism in general is fucking dying out, and I know how many times I look at the New York Times website and just, I've hit my like daily or my monthly article limit and just like click away. When I know that I really shouldn't.
Yeah.
And now today, I believe, wait, is it today? No. Yesterday was Given Tuesday. 2 days ago was Given Tuesday. And, I saw a lot of calls to do more on Thanksgiving, and try to think about it less in terms of giving all your money over to Amazon, or Walmart on Thanksgiving, and instead talk about not just buying into local businesses and stuff like that, but also to give to worthwhile charities and organizations and stuff like that. And actually, I found a thread that was pretty cool on Thanksgiving Day that was just people trying to lift up Native American folks who were just having some trouble. Like people were talking about how they had to pay a ticket to like get their car out or something like that. They needed $300 and stuff like that. It's like, somebody needed help with their lights, or they had a medical bill to pay off, that they were like a couple weeks late on, stuff like that, like little amounts, and people were just kind of sharing their Cash App ID or whatever it was, their Venmo, and just trying to raise like, hey, like here's this person who really needs like this Native American person who needs like $60 right now, and people would just chip in until they got them there. And I was like, damn, that is like a really cool, like interpersonal, like democratized, like little charity thing going on. Almost like, I don't know, something about it felt very personal, and I thought that was very cool, and I thought it was very in the spirit of the holiday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome, actually. It's a pretty cool idea.
We like
Welcome
fucking
back, everybody.
Okay, yeah. We're just gonna da. We're back from technical difficulties. Okay, cool. Anyways, fuck
Well-
whatever we were talking about.
We'll go into the important debates right now. It's like,
Yeah, the
do you or
important
do you not think that are you the type of person that as soon as December 1st hits, everything in the house, in the music, or your workplace, in the car, everything is Christmas music? Or are you the type of person that thinks only 1 week before Christmas should you be playing this stuff? Or are you the type of person that thinks like, no, never, just don't do it? Or are you that asshole that's been doing it since September and really pissing people off?
Oh no, I'm definitely in the camp of guys, let's not let Mariah Carey's head get any bigger than it already is. No Christmas music ever, just shutting all the shit out. And no, that is, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm just like, okay, it's fine. Fucking, I don't know, it's weird to me. I don't get it.
Christmas movies are cool.
Yeah, see, I never really got that either. I never
What?
really
Like you never watched like the most important Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard?
Yeah, see, even that meme, I can't even just muster the energy to give any kinds of shits about,
Wow. Bah humbug, Ebenezer. Freaking Scrooge over here.
I don't get it. It's fine, but like, I like, there are movies that happen to be good that are about Christmas or around Christmas, but I'm like, the Christmas part just always feels like, I feel like it's like, oh, we all just, like we all, pretend eggnog is good or some shit,
Hey,
or like
I had some eggnog with some from tequila in it. I think it was tequila. Was it vodka?
Why don't we all admit to ourselves that, like, everything is not fucking pumpkin like the other 10 months out of the year, because it would get old pretty quick.
Right, but then it might also make just like colder weather suck more.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, when was the last time it was like middle of summer? You're just like, I need a fucking pumpkin, martini right now.
Never, because it's too fucking hot. You need some.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, maybe this stuff's all not that great.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you there. I'm definitely not the type of person that likes, Christmas music, because there's only like 6 songs played a billion different ways, and only 2 of them are probably decent. And then there's that one random
Nobody has come
Paul
up
McCartney
with a
song.
fucking new Christmas banger in like
No,
20 years,
and
man.
And when people honestly try to tell me, oh, it's not that bad, when I'm hating on Paul McCartney's, we'll be having a wonderful Christmas time.
The Wings one. Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
The worst Christmas song ever. And when I actually complain about it, people are like, it's not that bad. It's like, what? Who are you? Just stop. You're either lying to yourself, or you're lying to me.
Who says that? People who have never worked in a place where that was on the playlist from the months of October or from the months of November through December. And
you aren't lying, yeah.
Yeah, and those of you who have, it's the song that haunts your nightmares. Anything that was on that playlist.
That's the song that might make you want to lash out and grab a customer and pull them over your desk or over the counter and bang their head.
Oh
into
yeah,
it,
when I see candy cans, I just go into a blind rage and just start swinging at toddlers. Like, it's rough. This shit will just slowly drive you fucking mad. And yeah, if you've ever been in any kind of service industry, like, oh man, just some of those fucking people are just insufferable.
Like, who puts those on? Who puts those on the playlist anyways? I mean, that's just gonna make people uneasy.
People are gonna
angry.
Get fucking mad if they don't. That's what's weird.
But think about it. Like, if you're in a crazy line at a department store or even a grocery store during the holidays, and it's obviously going to be way more crowded and frustrating. People are just losing their shit. People waiting to the last minute to get stuff, including yourself. You're there and like something's going wrong, and that's the song that's playing right at that point. Like, that's just like, for me, a trigger. Like, and restaurants.
That is okay. That is the equivalent of if somebody's really angry and you're like, excuse me, ma'am, you need to calm down. Like, that's the same thing.
Yes. It's like, fuck you, Paul.
Yeah. And they're like, what the fuck? A happy Christmas. Oh, fuck you. And then just like, they're ready to fucking smash, This is how Black Friday happens.
Yeah. That's why John Lennon was so much cooler, because his song was super simple. It was just like,
John Lennon was fucking terrible.
What?
Oh, man.
Take that back. Watch your fucking mouth.
Okay.
Watch your filthy
what's his most
goddamn
famous
mouth.
song? Imagine? Okay.
Well, that's obviously the most famous one, but
his
what
rhymes.
about working class?
He rhymes
What about
one with one?
okay? Who cares?
And I have
It
never heard
works.
anybody else bring that up. Like that is some bullshit.
It works. And you, of all people, would like songs like Working Class Hero and pretty much everything else that was on that album. It's way more raw and real. And he told people to imagine, man, you're going to go shit on him like that. He never made a Christmas song as annoying as Paul's song.
Well,
He made a song that
maybe
was
I'm
very
playing
basic
it up a
about
little
Christmas
bit more
time.
of a character just to have something to complain about because that's what I feel like doing today. But yeah, I don't know. I've always, in all seriousness, have been lukewarm on John Lennon.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Because,
That instant karma is going to come and get you, buddy. That's all I'm saying right now.
Yeah. You know what? You're probably not wrong. You're probably not wrong. But
You did not
I mean,
appreciate
he was,
that, but yeah.
I mean, he was always just. I mean, you know, like when they said that dude read Catch Center in the Rye and was like hating on phonies, and then like that's why they got him. I'm like, well, was he kind of a phony?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that he was a fucking he's a legend, you know. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Christmas music.
John
sucks,
Legend, on the
and
other hand, he's fantastic, and the
What's up with John
sexiest
Legend?
man alive, apparently.
Oh really?
Yeah, he won the People.
I thought it was
Sexiest
Jason
Man Alive
Momoa.
thing. We're just no. It was John Legend this year. So yeah, I guess we're just really throwing that term around now, huh?
So, who was it the year before that? Wasn't it like Idris Elba?
Yeah, it was Idris Elba, and everybody's like,
Then,
really? Like John Legend's a very nice man. You know, sexiest man alive.
you know,
Of course, it
'Cause
famously went to Blake Shelton like 3 years ago or something, right? And everybody's like, okay,
That's
this
what I
whole
remember.
contest is bullshit.
straight the fuck up, dude. Really, Blake Shelton? Sorry, Blake Shelton, but no, sorry. I mean, I'll put myself on there next, right? Dad bods are in, so it's like, put me on that shit right there. Anyways,
Yeah.
I watched a terrible movie yesterday. It was really, really bad. It was called Young Adult, and it had Charlize Theron in it, and she was like this just really terrible person that comes back to her like hometown after she gets a divorce. She comes back to like steal this guy, like knowing that he's married and has a kid, like shamelessly is just going after this guy, like trying to get him like to go with her. And like Patton Oswalt plays this like side character who's like crippled, you know, like he's kind of like this kid that's like got beat back in the day or whatever, but he like befriends her and they get drunk and wasted together, and then they end up hooking up, and it's like really weird and awkward. And I'm just like, yeah, I kind of feel like Patton Oswalt in this like whole scenario, you know, like just like that would be me trying to go out there and score with hot chicks right now. It's just like really awkward and weird. And it was like, yeah, I don't like this movie. It's making me feel really bad about myself, and it's just a terribly written movie. This character is so unrelatable, and she's a terrible person. Like, I don't know what the fuck was the point of this movie.
So
and I don't
get
know what
that
the fuck
shit
the
out of your
point
life. You don't need that kind of negativity, man.
Exactly, but
I think
yeah.
that was fairly recent, right? Like within the last couple of years, I want to say.
that movie, yeah, I'm pretty sure it seems like it. Anyways.
God, I feel like I remember like the fucking press tour, but remember nothing about what that movie was about or any commercial for it.
No, save your time. Save yourself the
Sounds
time
good.
and energy.
I will absolutely fucking take you up on that.
For sure.
Oh man.
But yeah. Anyways,
So-
is there anything coming up before the new year that you're going to be partaking in?
Oh man. No, actually, no. I can say as of right now, I don't think there is anything major planned before the new year. All of the shit that is bubbling up underneath is stuff that is going to be taking place after. You know, especially around I think the women's march around January 23rd, I want to say. Yeah, so there's stuff
Right.
like that coming up, stuff that I think people should go out and see. But nah. In the meantime, everybody just, you got enough to stress and worry about and think about, you know? Just fucking
Yeah.
chill.
Well, yeah, I got a couple things coming up that I'm looking forward to before the year ends. So the uh, next Wednesday, a week from, well, basically a week from now, uh, I'm doing another holiday Christmas show at the Copper Door in Santa Ana for the Big Draw, partnering up with the Big Draw to bring you the Big Draw before Christmas. Last year it was the Grinchmas Christmas party. Now it's the Big Draw before Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be same dope shit, just filled with artists, vendors, a whole full table where you can come and draw all over the table. Like you get to go to another establishment, a public place, and just draw and marker and color up this whole freaking table, and you can make some personalized gift cards for your loved ones there, and watch and dance to some music. So it's gonna be a good time next Wednesday, and then we have the last art in the park of the decade on the 15th, and that is going to be a onesie theme. It's We Are All Onesies. So show up in your best onesie,
I like that.
and that's it. We're just going to party in our onesies. We're going to party and paint and get down and have a good time and just, close out this year, this decade as our spirit animal. So I might be a pig or a cow. I'm not sure whichever Target has on sale yet still after all the fucking $20 Black Friday and Cyber Monday shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so come on out. It's going to be a good time. And that is actually all I have because Mutate is on a break. We're going to come back into the new year with it, but not doing that this month. And I don't got anything else. That seems to be it. Well, yeah, I mean, stay tuned for announcements coming up, but you'll get a lot more of them for Lost in the Sauce. They just announced the dates again for this April, I believe, and then we're going to be definitely amping up
already
the Psychedelic Lions Den art stage, so it's going to be dope.
That's a trip, man. It fucking all comes around fast. Shit.
It's too fast, so fucking fast. And the one thing that I'm learning is that I'm such a procrastinator, and I always wait till the last minute with things, and I'm like trying to get better about doing this because as the more you do it and the more like people you have in your network who are always throwing events too, it's like you really got to like stay ahead of the game in terms of planning and really kind of just set dates. For me, it's like hard because I use a lot of resources as they are like somewhat available, so I kind of have to feel it out. I don't like making plans way too much in advance because I don't have the means to, guarantee or solidify the resources like so far in advance. But now it's like, it's been a game of, you've been doing this long enough that you've accumulated what you need to and really just like have gotten the things that you need to in order to do that, because you have to set the dates for these events way ahead of time. Yeah, exactly. You gotta get it going, because if not, somebody else is gonna, or a lot of people are gonna book shit on the same day, and you're just like, oh fuck. So that is why we didn't have Kazulu last year, but we are bringing it back. It's coming up in either July or August. Haven't solidified the date yet, but I am making the announcement. By God, it is fucking happening, because I was just gifted.
All right, everybody, so just block off your whole calendar. Month of July,
all of it.
Month of August.
It's Leo weekend, Leo season, anyways.
Just
block
take
it all off to party.
You might as well.
Just
all the best birthday parties are going to be happening at that time. So just fuck it. Yeah.
And if your boss says anything about it, just tell them to stop being jealous, because that's clearly what it is. Since they're not a Leo, or they're not showing respect for the Leos.
Then
just tell them
sashay
that.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll get you out of more stuff than you think.
Actually, that is not a lie. So you would be surprised. But I got a fucking dope ass wizard kazoo that will be the main kazoo of the weekend, and we're definitely gonna also amp that shit up from what it's been. You've been You've seen it. It's fun, but this is going to be like on a scale like 3 or 4 times the size of that, I think, and just 10 times the fucking fun. So yeah, I'm
Right
saying
on.
it now, everybody. Cool.
Cool.
Well, you know, since that is pretty much it for this week, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Of course, you're going to go follow us, like us, do all the things that Phil tells you to do, and that he's going to go ahead and finish telling you what to do right now, since I
Oh,
am
I think
shitty
you
at
were
that.
doing a pretty damn good job. But folks, if you have forgotten, don't worry. I'm here to remind you always. It is at Let It Bleedcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And go ahead and subscribe to this show however you get podcasts, okay? And if you wanted to keep up with all the things I'm yelling about, you can catch me on Twitter at Phil Nobody Cares, and on Instagram you can watch an account that's been kind of lazy, but I promise this week, and this week I mean it, I might actually do some things on there, and that's at Nobody Cares Phil. And for you, my friend.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Hoodrat Stuff. That's Hoodrat Stuff with 3 Fs. You can go ahead and follow the Psychedelic Lions Den. That's psychedelic_lions_den. Meeting a lot of new cool artists. Been sharing a lot more dope art. And try to continue doing so. So if you see some shit that you guys like, always tag us in it, and we will, share the love and spread awareness for all of the local artists out there doing their things and hustling. Come to Art in the Park on the 15th. It's going to be fucking dope. Yeah, that's all I've got. So without any further ado, get your asses back to doing nothing until New Year's. Don't do anything. Just relax. Just like chill, stay safe, and then, jump
No
right into the
problem.
new year. Yeah, don't do anything. I'm just kidding. Yeah, as always, let it bleed.
Oh, you just said don't do anything.
No, fucking let it bleed and then don't do anything because you can't do anything. You'll be dead. All right, bye.